This is such a classy and simple but very gorgeous succulent arrangement, and I want to show you in this video exactly how I put it together, so please join me. Hi everyone, this is SF Succulent Social, and in today's video we're going to put together a very simple succulent arrangement in this gorgeous white ceramic pot with drainage hole, of course. I have some of my tools here. I've got some soil, some succulents, and also some top dressing. Alright, so of course we begin by putting in a little bit of potting mix. Maybe I'll fill it up until half, and then we are going to be adding our succulent from there. So this is an arrangement that we're putting together for a client. I think they're having a little bit of a seminar, and this is a gift to one of the speakers. All right, so let's start with our succulents. I'm choosing first the one that I would like to put in the middle. So let's start with this very gorgeous and stressed. That's why the color is like this, purple pearl. So I'm gonna put it in the middle. You have the option to put it like straight up, or you can tilt it a little bit like this to the rim of the pot, just so it's facing forward and the attention is really on that one as the center of the piece. I also wanted to add that in this arrangement, I'm going to be using only 4 succulents. So just goes to show how easy it is to put them together. You only need a little, but it would be best to choose the gorgeous pieces, especially because there's just few of them. Alright, so I'm adding here now a topsy-turvy on the side, and I've chosen, this is of course also an echeveria, but I'm trying to choose those that are going to be contrasting in colors, and also some that are contrasting in texture. So I don't want this succulent arrangement to be too high, to be too tall. So I'm just trying to get some echeverias at the front, and then we're just gonna fill up some soil here just to stabilize it, to make sure that it's anchored properly in here. So I'm quite happy with the center. I'm quite happy with the topsy-turvy. And then now we'll just add in a little bit of character with this Haworthiopsis. And when you have a succulent from a pot and you want to add it into the arrangement, you don't really need to completely remove all the soil. You can just tease it a bit, and what it does, it's gonna loosen the soil a bit. Okay, so I'm just putting this Haworthiopsis at the back just to give it a little bit of height, not too much, but just enough to give it contrast in color, and also a little bit of a texture and a little bit of layering here and there. There's not really a right and wrong way to make an arrangement, but I think the key is to put together those that would thrive really well in the same pot. So I have here with me a Sedum clavatum, pretty gorgeous bunch. So as compared to the first 3 that we put, this is not a single succulent. It's actually a cluster of it, and again it adds a little bit of contrast and layering. And once the clavatum, when they grow, they tend to have longer stems, so that means that it could trail here on the side, and that would give another layer, another trailing effect to our arrangement. So now I'm just filling up soil just to stabilize our succulents, to make sure that they're properly anchored, making sure that all the roots are covered with soil. And yeah, there we go, just gorgeous. All right, so now I'm just gonna continue to add soil, and I'm just gonna clean up a bit after because I think I'm quite happy with how it looks now. I will just need a little bit more soil to secure it properly. And so I was saying earlier that it's good to put together those that you think they will thrive um, together in a container, in a pot or a planter. Because basically, two of these are echeveria, so they have the same care. And most of our succulents are very exposed to the sun, so even if you put them together in the same sun exposure, they would really thrive well. Okay, so I just cleaned up a bit some of the soil here, and I want to show you how it looked like. And here I'm using an old makeup brush just to clean it. If there are some maybe soil or dried leaves that are in your arrangement, you can just use the brush to remove them, or you can use those like blower. I don't know what it's called, but it's used to blow the excess water on the leaves, so you can use that too. Okay, so now I'm just adding in these river pebbles as top dressing, and what it does basically is aesthetically it looks neater. And also when you water the succulents, if you don't have top dressing, the tendency is some of the soil at the top layer will, as you water them, they will just spill out, and so it's gonna be so messy for our white ceramic pot. So I'm just gonna give you a top view here so you know exactly what's happening from my view. And yeah, so the top dressing here would ensure that when you water, the soil will never flow out and they will stay intact under the river pebbles, and therefore it's not going to be messy, especially for a white pot. So sometimes in the middle of the succulents there are some soil still. I really like to ensure that all those areas are also filled up with river pebbles, to make sure that they're all looking nice and pretty on all angles and all sides. So this is the one that I was mentioning to you about. I don't know what it's called. It's a blower, basically. So if there is any pebbles that are trapped in there, just either use your stick. In my case, I'm using a chopstick, and then you could also use this blower to remove them and just to generally clean them. And as I said earlier, if once you water this, sometimes there are some water droplets that are trapped on the leaves, you can use that blower too. So now it's just basically quality check. Check if all the areas are okay. Make sure all angles they're looking, well put together. And yeah. And just to show you how simple putting together an arrangement could be. I mean, very few steps, only 4 types, and we're done. And how it looks like is very, very classy, gorgeous, classy, not over the top. This would be a perfect arrangement display in your home. It could be a gift. So if you already have succulents at home, this would be a great project for you. So now I'm just gonna keep it here first in my house, because next week it will be picked up by the client. But it's so gorgeous, it's so elegant, and yeah, again, to take care of it is just a good sun exposure, bright sun exposure, but not direct. Watering, of course, is just to water them when the soil is dry. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. We'd love to interact with you. If you haven't done so, also please subscribe to our channel. We'd love to share a lot of our videos with you, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and we certainly hope to see you next time. You can also follow us on our social media pages. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.